Now to talk about a lot more pressing issues from Niger State, where over the past 24 hours, the state has been dealing with yet another tragic incident that involves another tanker explosion. This is, of course, after many other incidents across the nation, but specifically in Niger State, this has become rather a common place where incidents like this have signposted the gaps that currently exist when it comes to transporting these somewhat dangerous commodities, but also some of the gaps that exist with infrastructure that has been linked to the current incident. The latest reporting indicates that the death toll could soar higher than what was reported yesterday. We understand that the latest figures show that at least 40 persons have lost their lives, while many others remain hospitalized as they continue to receive medical attention. And this is a developing issue. So we're bringing into the conversation someone who is not just familiar with the development, but someone who understands what some of the communities impacted by this developments actually going through in terms of all the recorded incidents, especially in Niger State. He's a columnist, a public affairs commentator, and an analyst. Professor Muhammed Ndagi is joining the conversation this evening. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us. Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
You have our condolences because incidents like this, one way or the other, especially when you talk about communities, because of our nature to relate as one big family, you might know a lot of people that would be impacted by this incident. But give us an overview of what this recent situation signposts for communities that are dealing with this, if not on a regular basis, on an annual basis.
Like you said, thank you very much. The entire state is in a mournful mood, and this has remained a recurring decimal over the years. And we thought this development is something that is unavoidable if government and even citizens themselves have done the right thing. Of course, when petrol tankers are involved in accident, most times the inflammable product, explodes. And then our people, as usual, it appears we have refused to learn from past experiences. I will say what is responsible most time for this is the foolhardiness of citizens and also ignorance on the part of some of them. And on the part of government, I will say maybe government lacks adequate value for human life, maybe in this country or unlike other parts of the world. Otherwise, I don't think we should be experiencing this kind of sad developments that is a recurring decimal. Let me start with the people. Foolhardiness, some of them know the risk involved, but they will say, let me try my luck. Maybe it won't explode. Before it explodes, I will have left the scene. And that is foolhardiness. Who told you? Risk does not send any signal. Risk does not send any message that it is the time you have left that will explode. So it's foolhardiness. Secondly, ignorance. For those who engage in the risk, most of them know that there is a lot of risk involved in going to scoop fuel from a tanker that has probably fallen. And on the part of some of them probably do not even know. They don't even know that petroleum product is inflammable. They don't know, especially in the villages. Where is the access? Is not radio, no radio, no television. Even if
you're saying there's no understanding of the risks involved.
Some of them,
even though it's a recurrent decimal, as you pointed out.
Yes. Well, how do they know? They are unlike you. They are not even educated. They don't know what is happening in communities that within the circumference of maybe 120, 150 kilometers. They don't know. The only world they know is their immediate world. They don't know. They don't know whether it has happened at Tafa. They don't know whether it has happened in Ogun, in Osun, in Lagos. They don't know. And that's why for some of them, complete ignorance. They don't know. The village is there. And that's why you can see women and children involved. Most of these women is not that, in spite of the technological advancement of information, is it handset? They don't even have. They don't know. They go to the farm, come back, take their product to the market and sell, and that's all. And then on the part of government, I wouldn't know if I should say something there.
I mean, if you have a thing or two about it, because every time incidents like this are reported, the coverage is usually on the response time, the nature of the emergency services that's rendered, and then the medical attention that people get. But the focus then turns to the causation. What actually caused it? We're usually talking about bad roads when we talk about tankers collapsing, overturning, exploding in any part of the country. Is that the case with Niger State too?
Particularly even in this incident. You see, if the road were in a good state, tankers could still explode, but it will not be at the rate at which we're experiencing it. Well, that time we'll call it its destiny. But in this case, even if destiny were involved, the road is bad. Some of the potholes there are big enough to swallow vehicles, smaller vehicles. So when the road is bad, it increases the rate at which tankers fall and then they block the road or they explode. So state of the road is crucial and is critical. If the road that Agabida road, like the other sections of the Abuja-Lagos road, it could happen, but it may not be at the rate we are experiencing. But the road is terribly bad. And what causes this kind of thing is in trying to dodge or avoid the big potholes. The content they are carrying is heavy. So it pulls down the truck to the ground. And when it falls, it explodes. Sometimes it won't explode immediately. So it explodes. So it is the state of the road that is the basic cause, fundamental cause to these explosions we are having. So if the road were good, we may experience it, but not at the rate we are experiencing this such development.
As far as the official data is concerned, this is the 7th incident of the year. And I believe the second one in Niger State, if I'm not mistaken. The first one for this year was recorded in Niger State, the Diko Junction incident in Suleja, which reportedly killed over 80 people or thereabout. This one is obviously in that same realm, but in Esa village, where we understand the death toll is so far at 40. But give me your own 2 cents about regulations and how they appear not to apply in this particular instance, with regards to where tankers are allowed to access in terms of transporting the products. Because we understand that Niger State is like a transit state. I mean, they needed to cross north and south, and it's almost as if it's the main access point for some of these heavy-duty trucks.
It is. You see, our problem in this country is not about laws. We have the laws, but enforcing the laws. For instance, after that Diko incident, I think government came with a regulation that no tanker should carry more than 60. I mean, is it?
I think no, 40 something.
Is it 33 or 40,000? Right. Yeah. But today you still see petrol tankers that carry as much as 60,000 liters, even 80,000 liters. Double up. The normal one, the standard one is 33,000 liters. The next one is 45,000. So the government brought a regulation that, look, no tankers, I don't think they're enforcing it. Go to all the roads in this country, all the routes. They still use these tankers to ply these roads. So there is no enforcement. Now, in one of your conversations, you mentioned that the response. Accidents, of course, we cannot stop accidents, because we believe when they are bound to happen, they will happen. But response can reduce the impact. Now, how do you respond? From where to where? How do you even access that village? Is it from Age or from Badege or Bida? Because how do you even assist the victims to access medical attention? The road is bad. Which ambulance will apply the road? It's unmotorable. You cannot see vehicles on that road except petrol tankers only, and then motorcycles. So you are talking of response. How do you respond? And for your information, you see, in terms of infrastructure, I really don't know what is happening. Ordinarily, I believe we should have fire service trucks, at least in the headquarters of every local government in this country. Well, go and find out and check. Out of the 774, some of them may have, but are they even moving? Probably they are just there like museum artifact, because they don't even have tires. So the response, if there were maybe fire service in each local government headquarter, it could also, hasten the rate of response. But they are not there. Even when it is there, the state of the road, again, we have to talk about it. How do you go there? A distance of, again, Esa, I don't think it's more than, it's not up to 20 kilometers, maybe 15 or 18 kilometers. But for you to move from Age to that place, probably maybe 2 hours. Maybe 2 hours. So how do the victims, get medical attention?
Right. And I was just checking the data. It shows that from October 1st this year, the regulation states that no fuel tanker will be allowed to load more than 45,000 liters of petrol at a time. So, but as you pointed out, this is likely not being complied with for the most part. But is there also a sense? Because
let me add something. Yeah. Because government knew why it brought this regulation. Because 33,000, 45,000, in trying to dodge, the truck will not come down immediately or easily. But where you overload it, it can easily pull down the vehicle. So yeah, we expect that government should enforce all this. We have the road safety. In fact, they are more interested in stopping smaller cars on the road rather than checking whether this regulation is being enforced or not.
And in talking about how communities have coming to terms with this, as someone who understands the frustrations of communities impacted by this, who have to deal with this year on year,
not year on year, every time.
Right.
Every other day.
Is there a sense that there is an acceptance that this is part of the new normal now?
I don't think so. I don't. Normal is adverse development like this. How can it be normal? It's not normal. But you see, Nigerians, do I say like a daisical attitude? Reports have been given. There is need for education. I think there is need for education. Who is responsible for that education, I wouldn't know. But people should be educated more that, look, when tankers fall like this, they should not allow people to get close to it. Even in villages, there is need for public enlightenment, even to the grassroots, to all the nook and corners of the villages around this area. But you see, the bottom line we have to come to, you see, is let this road be repaired. It's the major link, like you said, between the entire northern part of the country and southwest Nigeria. And the distance of this portion is not more than 50 kilometers.
Right.
For God's sake, we are appealing to government. You see, it's not a state road. Before, there used to be an initiative where states will repair government. It's no longer there. Otherwise, I believe the governor of Niger State will have gone to every extent to repair this road. It's not a state road. You will have repaired it.
Do you think it's a no-brainer because of its economic significance to commerce, to trade,
of course,
to the energy sector, that we need to have this road fixed, like yesterday, for instance?
Of course. If government knew the losses that are usually incurred when these kind of incidents occur, our government will have long ago repaired this road, because it is in the supply chain of petroleum product from Lagos upward here. The Dangote refinery is in Lagos. This is the main route you follow. If you say you go and follow other routes from the southeast or from the south, you are increasing the distance that will bring you to up north here through Abuja here. So government needs to look at the economic relevance of this road, and this portion is not more than 50 kilometers, 55, and all these incidents will be, I mean, they are unavoidable, and we won't see them again.
We've heard a lot from the governments who've condoled with the people of Niger State over this recent incident. I guess we're used to getting these condolences whenever tragic incidents like this happen, but is there any record that communities like this, whenever a tragic incident like this happens, get any form of compensation from whether it's the government or the people who own these tankers that usually overturn and then explode?
I'm not aware. For instance, in Agé, I think about 2 years ago, the same kind of explosion occurred. Even a policeman was killed. The DPO in Agé at that time deployed a policeman not to allow people to get close to wire the tanker. And the man was not, I mean, I think he was standing not too far. By the time the tanker exploded, it took the life of even the policeman. I never heard anywhere that there was any compensation for the people who lost their lives even in that incident. I wouldn't know anyway, but I doubt.
I mean, we talk about regulations, we talk about enforcement. From your assessment, is the next incident a matter of when, not if, because of what has happened all these years?
It's a matter of when. Unless we put the road into a good shape. Once the road is repaired, we'll now say, unless you do this, that's when we'll have it. But for now, it's just a matter of, we expect that it will soon come because the road is terribly bad. And we are not enforcing the law, the regulation that says no tanker should load more than this. As long as the road remains like this, we'll just be expecting when will the next one occur. God forbid. Yeah.
And as a final take, we're heading into the Christmas season, and we know that there is a lot of traffic on federal roads. There's a lot of consumption also when it comes to energy products like petrol, diesel, and the likes. From your own knowledge of some of these incidents, do things get better towards the end of the year, or do things get worse in terms of incidents like this?
Usually it is worse during the rainy season because the road has already failed. So rain, no road shoulders, no drainage. So it worsens the terrible state of the road, usually during rainy season. But even when the rain stops, you still have it because the potholes have not been filled.
Right.
And so even as December is now coming, during which time traffic of persons and the goods increase, what can we do? Only to continue to pray that God, please help us not to experience this again. But as human beings, I have not seen any thing government is doing enough to forestall a repeat of this.
All right. Professor Muhammed Ndagi, thank you so much for the analysis. Really appreciate you for stopping by this evening.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Right. And that is it for tonight's edition of the program. Thank you, Muskali, for joining us on Daily Politics. We'll be back tomorrow live and exclusive on Trust TV. Until next time, I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.